Open your bank statement right now, not next week, right now. Scroll through last month's charges and count how many recurring payments appear. Things that bill you automatically every month without requiring any action from you. Most people who do this exercise find somewhere between 8 and 14 subscriptions they are actively paying for. A smaller but significant number find more than 20. And in almost every case, there are at least 2 or 3 charges that cause a moment of genuine confusion. A service they forgot they signed up for, a trial they meant to cancel, a platform they stopped using months ago but never got around to ending. That moment of confusion is not an accident. It was designed. The subscription economy did not grow to its current size, estimated at over $650 billion globally as of 2023 according to UBS, because subscriptions are the most convenient payment model for consumers. It grew because subscriptions are the most profitable payment model for businesses. And the gap between those two things, what is convenient for you versus what is profitable for them, is where most people quietly lose hundreds of dollars per year without ever making a conscious decision to spend that money. My name is Arthur. This channel is about the parts of personal finance that are working against you right now, whether you realize it or not. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing what most financial content skips. Now let me show you exactly how the subscription model is designed to extract money from you and how much it is costing people who never stop to look. The most important thing to understand about the subscription model is that it does not succeed by providing value. It succeeds by surviving. A subscription business does not need you to love the product. It does not need you to use it regularly. It does not need you to feel good about the purchase. It only needs you to not cancel. And the entire system, the pricing, the sign-up flow, the cancellation process, the reminder emails, the billing cycles, is engineered around that single goal, keeping you subscribed for as long as possible, regardless of how much value you are actually receiving. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a business model, and it has a well-documented playbook. Let me walk you through the specific mechanics. The first mechanism is what behavioral economists call the pain of paying. When you pay cash for something, you feel the transaction in real time. The money leaves your hand. There is a measurable psychological response. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University identified it using brain imaging that activates when spending feels real and immediate. Credit cards reduce that pain significantly. Subscriptions eliminate it almost entirely. 99 monthly charge that appears automatically on your credit card statement creates almost no psychological friction. You did not decide to spend it this month. You decided once, a long time ago, and the system has been executing that decision every month since. The pain of paying is the brain's natural brake on spending. The subscription model removes the brake. The second mechanism is the free trial. Free trials are not designed to let you evaluate a product. They are designed to get your payment information on file, lower your psychological barrier to commitment, and then convert you to a paying customer at a moment, the end of the trial. When canceling requires an active decision while doing nothing costs you nothing in the short term. According to a 2022 study by C+R Research, approximately 42% of Americans are paying for at least one subscription they forgot they had. The free trial is the primary mechanism for creating those forgotten subscriptions. You sign up, you use it for a week, you forget about it, and 14 days later, you are a paying customer who never made a conscious choice to pay. The third mechanism is price anchoring and plan architecture. Most subscription services offer 3 tiers: a basic plan that is conspicuously limited, a premium plan that is conspicuously expensive, and a middle plan that appears reasonable by comparison. The middle plan is the one the company wants you to choose. The basic and premium plans exist primarily to make the middle plan feel like the rational, value-conscious option. According to research by behavioral economist Dan Ariely, when people are presented with 3 options, where one is clearly inferior, they choose the middle option at dramatically higher rates than when only 2 options are presented. You think you are making a savvy choice by not paying for the premium tier. You are actually being guided toward a price point the company designed for you. The fourth mechanism is the annual billing trap. Annual subscriptions are sold as a discount. Save 20% by paying annually is a standard pitch. What the framing obscures is that annual billing dramatically reduces your likelihood of canceling. When you pay month to month, you re-encounter the decision to continue every 30 days. When you pay annually, you do not face that decision for 12 months. And when the renewal arrives, it is typically processed automatically, often after a brief reminder that is easy to miss or ignore. According to data from subscription analytics firm Recurly, annual subscribers have a churn rate approximately 60% lower than monthly subscribers. The discount is real. The cost is your attention. The fifth mechanism is the cancellation maze. Signing up for most subscriptions takes between 60 and 90 seconds. Canceling many of them is deliberately, systematically harder. The industry term for this is friction, and adding friction to the cancellation process is a documented, widely practiced strategy. Some services require you to call a phone number during business hours. Some bury the cancellation option under multiple menus. Some require you to speak to a retention agent who will offer you a discounted rate, a pause, or a free month, not because they want to help you, but because every additional minute in the cancellation process increases the probability that you will give up and remain subscribed. A 2023 Federal Trade Commission report on subscription practices identified these friction tactics as so prevalent that the FTC proposed new rules requiring subscriptions to be cancelable in the same number of steps it took to sign up. The fact that regulators felt the need to propose this rule tells you how widespread the problem is. Now let us talk about the dollar cost, because this is where most people get a number they did not expect. The average American household spends approximately $273 per month on subscriptions, according to a 2022 Consumer Intelligence Research Partners study. That is $3,276 per year. The same study found that most households believe they spend approximately $86 per month, meaning the average person underestimates their subscription spending by more than $180 per month. When asked to estimate their subscription costs, most people name only the services they actively use and enjoy. They do not name the services they forgot about. They do not name the services they use occasionally, but not regularly. They do not name the services that are technically used by one member of the household, but not others. $273 per month, $3,276 per year. Invested at 8% annual return starting at age 30, that number becomes approximately $402,000 by age 65. That is the compound cost of subscription drift. Not the cost of subscriptions you want and use, but the cost of the subscriptions you are paying for without realizing it, multiplied by 35 years of lost compound growth. The fix is not complicated. It is an audit. Print or export your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Highlight every recurring charge. For each one, ask 2 questions. Did I actively decide to continue this subscription in the last 30 days? Or is it running on a decision I made months or years ago? And if this service stopped working today, would I notice within a week? If the answer to the first question is no, if the subscription is running on autopilot, and the answer to the second question is also no, if you would not notice it was gone, that subscription is a candidate for immediate cancellation. The goal is not to cancel everything. The goal is to make every subscription a conscious, active choice rather than a legacy decision made once and never revisited. Subscriptions that deliver ongoing, regular value are worth keeping. Subscriptions that survive on inertia are a tax on your inattention, and the subscription economy has been optimized for exactly that purpose. You did not forget to cancel those subscriptions. You were designed to forget. Here is how to do that audit in practice. Set aside 20 minutes. Open every bank account and every credit card statement from the last 90 days. Create 2 columns, subscriptions you are actively choosing to keep and subscriptions you are keeping by default. The second column is where the money is. For the default subscriptions, apply the cancellation test. Cancel it today. If you miss it within 2 weeks, resubscribe. If you do not miss it, you just recover that money permanently. This sounds obvious. Almost no one does it consistently because the subscription model is built on the assumption that the friction of canceling will always exceed the friction of continuing. The model is usually correct, but it is only correct if you never look. There is a secondary layer to this problem that goes beyond individual subscriptions, the compounding of small amounts. A $7.99 subscription feels trivial. So does a $4.99 one and a $9.99 one. Individually, none of them feel worth the effort of canceling. Collectively, 4 or 5 forgotten subscriptions at those price points add up to $35 to $50 per month, $420 to $600 per year for services you are not using. The psychological trick the subscription model relies on is is the isolation effect. Each charge is evaluated on its own, in isolation from the others. The total is never confronted as a whole. The audit forces you to confront the total, and the total is almost always larger than the number in your head. One more thing worth understanding: the subscription economy is not going away. If anything, the model is expanding. Software, media, food delivery, fitness, news, games, cloud storage, productivity tools, car features, appliances. The list of things that are now sold as recurring subscriptions rather than one-time purchases is growing every year. This means the audit is not a one-time exercise. It is a quarterly habit. Every 3 months, the same 20 minutes, the same 2 columns. Because every 3 months, new subscriptions will have arrived. Some that you wanted, some that you forgot to cancel, some that crept in during a free trial you no longer remember starting. The subscription economy is designed to grow quietly in the background of your financial life. The audit is how you bring it back into the foreground. 20 minutes, once a quarter, and you are running the system instead of the system running you. Let me put the numbers together one more time, because they deserve to be stated clearly in one place. The average American household spends $273 per month on subscriptions. The average household thinks it spends $86 per month. The gap is $187 per month, money leaving every month for services that were never consciously renewed. Over a year, that gap is $2,244. Over 10 years, assuming no growth, that is $22,412. Invested at 8% annual return over 10 years, that $187 per month becomes approximately $33,000. Over 35 years from age 30 to age 65, invested at 8%, it becomes approximately $402,000. These are not the costs of subscriptions you love and use. These are the costs of subscriptions you forgot you had. The services you would happily cancel if someone sat you down and asked you directly whether you wanted to continue paying for them. The subscription model is not neutral. It is not a convenient payment method that happens to save you money. It is a revenue optimization system built around human inattention, the psychology of small recurring amounts, and the deliberate friction of cancellation. Every element of the design, the free trial, the annual billing, the 3-tier pricing, the cancellation process, is engineered to extract as much revenue as possible from customers who are not actively paying attention. The companies building these systems are not doing anything illegal. They are doing exactly what businesses do, optimizing for their own revenue. The responsibility for managing the output of that optimization falls entirely on you. And the most powerful tool you have is also the simplest: actually looking at what you are paying for as a total, all at once, 4 times a year. You did not forget to cancel those subscriptions. The system was designed to make you forget. Now you know how it works.